This is why being an expert at what you do is no longer good enough in the 2026 to 2030 economy. We've been talking about this new era, the evolution of AI, how businesses and marketing specialists are going to market those businesses in the next 4 to 5 years with AI. And in this economy, being great at what you do is not a growth strategy. That is the bare minimum requirement to be in business. You can be excellent, you can have all the testimonials, over 15 years of experience, and still not know how to speak to buyer psychology. And as we move closer to 2030, the decisions that you make right now or decide not to make will quietly shape whether your business is going to succeed in the 2030 era. And this is why I've grown so tired of the word marketing. And I am a marketing specialist of 9 years, have helped my clients book over 31.9 million collectively in sales across education technology, real estate, healthcare, wellness, e-commerce, just about every industry except like plumbing and things of that nature. But here's the thing. Marketing became such a buzzword that it's sometimes difficult to tell people what's actually required when you want to market a business. And so for the rest of this video, I'm going to use a different type of vocabulary. I'm going to say buyer psychology. Because what buyer psychology is all about is empathy, awareness, and readiness. This is about understanding when someone is prepared to move from one stage of their business or life to another, and having the context to understand what they're going through right now, what they're going through when they find you as they're working with you, and then what their life is going to look like after working with you. Talent is abundant, but signal, direction, and conversion copy, truly the art and science of how to convert clients, is so rare in this age. And this is why you'll see a lot of online businesses, consultants, lawyers, finance firms say, well, I'll just sell this $7 thing. Or I'll just sell this $20 ebook thing. I'll just go downsize and try to get more volume, but that's not really a true solution. This dismantles your credibility and confuses your high ticket clients. And so you're like, okay, Tiffy, what do I do instead? What am I supposed to do? Because you're finding it more difficult to articulate yourself to clients. But I have a question for you. Because the copy that I see on a daily basis, from hiring writers to getting copy in my email inbox to assessing clients' copy, what I'm seeing across the board is that people aren't truly writing. They have no desire to write. Instead, they're letting ChatGPT maneuver and handle all the thinking, when ChatGPT does not have the human context and experience that you have. If your value is not blatantly obvious in the first 10 to 15 seconds of somebody seeing your video, reading your email, definitely reading your website, then unfortunately you are optional in their brain. And when your business becomes optional, it gets increasingly hard to maneuver the way you want. You may want to expand into different regions throughout the world. You may want to get some funding, or you just want to sign clients and add an additional 5K to 10K in revenue this month, ASAP, right now. But that becomes hard when people see you as an option and not the only true solution, a type of painkiller. See, let's take one of my clients, for example. She works with women navigating through perimenopause, those who have already passed it and those who are around it. And she's younger than them. So you may say, wow, she's not even in menopause. Walk with me here so you can understand the context of why clients choose to work with her. Her education and experience are both undeniable, not just academically, but personally. She had results for herself, her mother, and her grandmother. So grabbing her next $3,000 clients was not an issue at all. It was relatively easy, actually, because it's such a niche market. I mean, the pain was extremely palpable. These are people dealing with exhaustion, mood swings, chronic overworking, and they're high achieving women. So they have the resources to be able to fix what's going on with their body, or to learn more about perimenopause and their body. And that's literally painkiller marketing at its finest. But what made her different was not just her expertise, it was discernment. She did not approach marketing or buyer psychology the way that most businesses do. She understood the problem deeply, but she also knew her own limits. When she came to me, it wasn't because she questioned her value. She came to me because she did not want execution gaps to interfere with a high caliber business model. She was in her growth phase. She's booking all these clients. She had just moved to a new country, and she was like, hey, when we got on the phone, I don't want to write emails. I don't want to keep revising my copy. I know you're the true expert here. I want you to execute. And I'm ready to pay top dollar to do that, because her roster was filling up. She was at a sensitive time in her business where her growth could continue on an upward trajectory, or it could stall based on doubting her ability to articulate herself, or doubting and trusting her ability to find a marketing director who could execute inside of her business. And so instead of forcing herself to write copy, like put a hand in the air, it's okay if I can't see you, put a hand in the air if this is you, you have forced yourself to master copywriting when your true expertise may lie in wellness, mental health, finance, tax relief, e-commerce, DNA, science, education, technology. You need to understand where your true expertise is, but that's what she did. She knew her real value was with her clients, continuing to get those clients, and she knew that if she invested in sales and marketing in her business, she would get a clear return on investment, not just in the first 15 to 30 days, but for the rest of the duration that her business is open. Because once you have the right marketing infrastructure in place, it totally shifts your business. It shifts the way you think of yourself, and you start positioning yourself as I am a CEO, especially when you're hiring other people into your company. And so at a certain point, that pain-killing marketing is the foundation of everything that you desire to do in 2026. She didn't make herself master copywriting. She didn't go to conferences. She actually doesn't even have a very large following. That's what I love about her, actually, because it shows me how well she niched down and how well she is able to convert clients. In fact, she has under 1,000 followers on Instagram. In fact, she has a couple hundred subscribers on her newsletter, but she is doing better revenue-wise and business-wise than most businesses who have large followings but cannot keep converting clients because their message is too generic and too diluted and too thin. And so, this is where, if this reasoning is resonating with you, I'm hosting a private session in the next 2 weeks, January 29th at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's called Undeniable Live. It's actually a training where I'm going to show you how to write effective copy that converts, how to assess and audit your messaging right now. And there's a 20-minute session that's pre-recorded included in this live training that takes about 45 minutes. And it is a speaking engagement that I did going over how to properly use AI and not be overly dependent on it, because that is the enemy of businesses in 2026 and beyond. Over dependence on AI, where you have AI writing your copy and then you sound like everybody else in the market. You didn't want to take the time to differentiate. You didn't want to understand the nuance your clients are experiencing. You barely even talk about your clients because ChatGPT doesn't really know about your clients. So how could it write about your clients? This is where we get rid of lazy marketing. And yes, it takes work, but we're going to unpack while expertise alone will not take you to the next level in 2026, and how buyer psychology and readiness together determine the momentum that you need to actually move your audience from hesitation to ready buyers. And if you're navigating growth, capacity limits, hiring, or a new season in business, you do not want to force execution. You want to take a diagnostic approach and almost look at your business as if you were a doctor assessing it. So you'll find the link in the description if you want to join. January 29th, come, listen, decide from there. And because this economy is built to get you excellence, clarity is what's going to get you chosen. I'll see you in the next one.